Whether you're hopping into Pokemon VGC for the very first time, or if you're like me and you're coming back after a long break, this should be the first video you watch because it goes over the most important thing in competitive Pokemon other than type matchups. I'm talking speed tiers, people. If you like this video or find it helpful in any way, please give it a thumbs up because that helps a ton. And if you're new here, please consider subscribing for more Pokemon Scarlet and Violet content in the future. In every Pokemon game since Gen 1, other than Pokemon Legends Arceus, which we won't get into, the order in which you move is based on the speed stat. The higher the speed stat, the faster the Pokemon. And the faster Pokemon moves first. There are exceptions to this, the major one being Trick Room. When Trick Room is up, the slowest Pokemon on the field actually get to attack first, and the fastest go last. A couple of additional interactions you'll want to know is that Tailwind doubles your speed, and the Paradox Pokemon ability adds a 50% boost if speed is the highest stat that gets the boost. The document I'm going to be referencing in this video is from victoryroadvgc.com. I highly recommend going there and checking it out. It will be linked down in the description. You're going to want to have this pulled up right next to your type coverage charts and your damage calculators when you're team building. It does a couple of really cool things. It outlines some important definitions for you, such as max speed, mid speed, and min speed. Max speed means perfect speed IVs, maximum 252 speed EVs, and a positive nature such as timid or jolly, which gives an 11% boost. Mid speed means it has perfect speed IVs, but 0 EVs in speed, and a neutral nature, something like modest or adamant, where they're going to be looking for damage. And of course, min speed means 0 IVs, 0 EVs, and a negative nature such as quiet. This is actually a 9% decrease in the stat, and these are the type of setups you're going to be seeing on Trick Room teams. Side note, it's actually not bad to have a min speed Pokemon on your team to throw in as an answer for when somebody gets Trick Room up, so you're not left completely in the dust. But back to the document. For each Pokemon, not only does it list the base speed, which you'll see on the left side there, but it also gives the max speed number, the mid speed, and the min speed. So they've already calculated these for you, so you know what numbers to look for when you're going through your calcs. So now I've kind of broken it down to some different groups of Pokemon so you kind of understand where different threats are. So it's not just a list of 400 things and you're like, oh my god, I don't know where to start. So the first group you're going to want to focus on is the fastest group. I've sectioned this off from 150 to 120 base speed. And honestly, I don't think two people are going to be running Electrode. You'll probably see it a little bit, but I would go ahead and plan for 142 Dragapult being the highest base you'll most likely run into. So in this list, like I said, we have Electrode, Dragapult, Barraskewda, Iron Bundle, Fluttermane, Chinpo, Koraidon, Miraidon, Jolteon, Talonflame, Weavile, Kilowattrel, Noivern, Meowscarda, Cyclizar, Dugtrio, and Wugtrio. These are your glass cannons, your super fast guys, the ones that are most likely going to be running max speed unless they're spec'd for something specific. So you're going to want to make sure you have something that can at least take them out of the game in terms of getting rid of their speed advantage, or something that can outspeed them yourself to try and get that one shot before they can do anything to your team. The next speed tier, which is really, really fast, but not the fastest in the game, is about from 119 base speed to 95. I'm not going to read everything, but these are things you'll see like Cinderace, Roaring Moon, Mouseholds in this list. Garchomp is at 102. Mimikyu's at 96. Charizard 100. Salamence 100. So some really big hitters and some major threats in the meta, at least right now. With that information, you can come back to this chart and realize that a Garchomp, unless it has something like a Choice Scarf or Tailwind, cannot exceed a 169 speed stat. You can then find what's going to be your Garchomp killer and spec it up properly so you're not wasting those speed EVs, and you can put them in additional things like damage or survivability. The next group I've kind of sectioned this out into is the above average speed tier, which is from 94 to 81. Starting out on 94 base speed, which honestly surprised me a stink a ton. This tier has other things like Brexcalibur, Great Tusk, which Paradoxes will most likely be allowed as early as Season 2, so we are going to have to plan for those. Golden Go is in this tier at 84. He's used on a ton of teams. And of course, things like Gyarados and Slitherwing. These are definitely mons that you would consider speedy, but they are definitely easy to be outsped. So if you have just been getting wrecked by Golden Go, check out this chart, find out his maximum speed, get yourself a hard-hitting Mimikyu that one-shots it. The next speed tier is from 80 to 70. This is the average speed. The major threats here are going to be things like Dragonite, Gardevoir is pretty good, Drifblim honestly gets pretty good usage, so Titan I think is going to be pretty powerful. And these are all things you're going to have to watch out for. They can be spec'd to be decently fast, especially on a Tailwind team. But we're also getting down into the territory where some of these could be spec'd super low and for Trick Room teams. So seeing something like as a Titan in the opponent's lineup might not necessarily mean that it's going to be a fast team. Watch out for those Trick Room users is what I'm saying. For the slow speed tier, we're looking at about 68 to 59 base speed. If these are on a team, they're most likely going to be supported with Trick Room, but you could still make these guys work outside of Trick Room if you really wanted to. In this tier, you're going to find things like Corviknight, Skeledirge, Gothitelle, which is a definite Trick Room user. I think Orthworm has really good potential. Tyranitar is always very good. You'll see Magnezone, Sylveon, Grimmsnarl. It's a pretty solid tier here. You're going to want to have something to take these Pokemon out pretty fast before they can do what they want to do. We're getting into the bulk, we're getting into the more tricky situations, and like I said, the Trick Room. So these last two tiers, slower and slowest, they are from 55 to 40 and 39 to 15. These are definite Trick Room users. This is where you can shop around for your Trick Room answer if you're not going to run a Trick Room team. Find something like a sweeper you can send out and take advantage of those slow speeds. In these tiers, you'll find things like Ampharos, Electros, Sableye, Hariyama, Iron Hands, and some pretty serious Trick Room sweepers such as Colossal, Copperajah, Hatterene, and Torkoal. Like I said, it is just really good to know where these Pokemon are in terms of their speed and what you have to do to outplay them. You definitely want to pay attention to the meta and watch your matches so you can see if like a mid-speed Dragapult is more common than a max speed, so you can spec your answer accordingly and don't waste any of those precious EVs. But that's all for me, friends. I just wanted to get this quick little video out there because I found this awesome webpage and I wanted to share it with you guys. Like I said, I think speed tiers are basically just about as important as type matchups. And even if you didn't listen to me ramble, I hope you at least found your way to this document so you can use it in your team building process. That's really the main goal here. But if you did like the video or found it helpful, like I said, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're new, because we got some more Pokemon Scarlet and Violet content coming your way. If you didn't know already, I stream every single night over at twitch.tv/precision. We completed our Scarlet badge quest, and now we are on a Scarlet Paradox badge quest. Hop on the stream, find out what we're hunting. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.